Welcome to the Chamber Vibes podcast with your host, Brittany Timmons, the Greater Guthrie Chamber of Commerce CEO and President. In this podcast, you will hear from local guests who will discuss topics such as leadership, small business, and our vibrant community. You'll also hear success stories and tips from amazing local businesses, dive into important news, meet community leaders, and find out how you can get involved in our community. From the Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful and historic downtown Guthrie, America, here is Brittany Timmons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of Chamber Vibes. Good to be back in the studio and on a random rainy afternoon.
I love it when you say rainy.
You do?
Yeah, we haven't had rain in a long time.
But you washed your truck today.
I washed my truck today.
That's why it happened.
Not good news for the chamber office.
Yeah. Oh,
with the roof. Yeah.
Right. It's fine. That's a whole nother topic. Anyway, yes. So as you can tell, it is not just me and a guest today. I mean, are you a guest?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a guest. Okay. I'm excited. I haven't been excited to be in the studio in a long time.
Right.
Might be my last time.
So have Guthrie Chamber Board Chair Chris Evans with us today as well.
Thank you.
Of course, Guthrie News page as well. But this is the Chamber Vibes podcast, and excited to have Caden Young.
Thank you.
With the airport on today. So we were talking about it, and you were a guest at Rotary on Monday.
Yes.
And which, depending on when you're watching this, that could be any Monday. But and I was like, it's been a while since I've had you on the show, and in 3 years, we figured
3 years.
There is a lot that has changed at the Guthrie Edmond Regional Airport.
Just the last 12 months, it has been nonstop. If you watch city council meetings, Caden's up there. It seems like every other meeting talking about millions of dollars of great stuff happening.
Absolutely.
We're getting to that. So we'll learn about that. And also, I think a lot of people want to know Guthrie Edmond. Why? So
I know.
There's a lot of that stuff we can get into, but man, this is to be honest with you, I wasn't a big airport guy, but covering city and being around airport directors like you, learn a whole lot. And it's a busier than it's kind of out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people.
Right.
But
that's right.
But that's not the case. It's a happening place. So I'm looking forward to this.
For sure.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why, I thought it'd be good to have you on again. You're a little more seasoned now.
That's right.
3 years
Been here a bit,
here in Guthrie. And and if people don't know your background, you were in Stillwater.
Stillwater Regional Airport.
Stillwater Regional, yes. Which they're part of the chamber now, the Guthrie Chamber.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay, awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
So pretty cool to have their support.
Yeah.
They got some good momentum over there too.
They do. Daily flights with American Airlines Commercial Service Airport. And so they're growing. Cool. They're building a terminal as well. I think they're about to cut the ribbon on that soon.
Yes, I think I saw that. Yes, exciting stuff. So anyway, good to have Caden back on. We have a wonderful relationship between the chamber and the city, and people may not realize, but you are a city employee.
That's right. I'm a city employee.
Yes. And so just thought it would be great to have you on and talk about all the exciting things. And like Chris said, I mean, even running the chamber now 6 years, I have learned a ton about our airport and, try to get more involved and things like that, because I just always saw some planes when I was at Walmart, parking lot, see a plane coming. I was like, that's cool.
That's the best view.
It really is.
People will call me and ask, can I come out and see the aircraft? And I'm like, you absolutely can. But the best view is the Walmart parking lot right there on our north end. So,
it's true. It's true. Yeah. And so
I'll say I live probably a mile from the airport. And the thing that I've noticed over the years is the aircrafts are getting bigger and bigger and nicer and nicer. And man, I'd like to own that. Boy, that'd be a lot of money. But there are bigger aircraft that are coming in and out of the airport.
Mm-hmm. That's right. 3 years ago, when we first started, we had a brand new FBO that had just began operations.
And what does that mean? What's an FBO?
Our FBO is our fixed base operator. They're our direct fuel provider on the airport. And they brought in a much cleaner look. They brought in more staff. They also brought in new equipment, like a ground processing unit that allows us to have aircraft like this behind us is a Gulfstream 280. And so this is something that we're seeing more and more of out at the airport. We're growing operations and we're getting those bigger planes because we're a more attractive stop for them along their journey.
Right.
And a big part of that is, I might have learned this at one of the chambers, State of the City, is the size of the runway. Yes, thank you, Brittany.
Right.
I have had taxi pappy. I'm trying not to get too technical into the weeds and trying to. It's like it's not a fire hydrant or it's not a fire hose. It's a fire line. But that's too technical. But the runway is one of the largest ones. It's not the largest. I know there's Will Rogers and Tulsa and Lawton, but we're near the top after that.
We have a jet capable runway. Our runway is 5,200 feet long. It's 75 feet wide. It is jet capable. We just completed actually a taxiway project, new taxiway realignment project. That was a $5.7 million project, realigning our taxiway to our new runway. And so it's projects like that are helping bring more traffic into the airport.
Yeah, that's really cool. Because I would say, I mean, even whenever my family moved to Guthrie, you know, like you're saying, it was a lot of small, very small, you know, aircraft that you would see. And like you said, it's getting bigger and bigger. And so you mentioned the over $5 million for that project. So big question that I really hope that today and the podcast will help is how does the airport get funding? Because you are part of the city of Guthrie. So I just want to help provide some clarification today. You know, is it all taxpayer dollars? Like, where does this money come from?
Yeah, so our airport is part of this is kind of a longer answer than you might have wanted.
Yeah.
But our airport's part of what's called the National Plan of Integrated Airport Systems. So that's a large plan. That's all to say that the FAA funds the bulk of our airport. So all of our capital projects, the FAA is funding anywhere from 90 to 95%.
Okay.
So that's a large majority. We're a federally obligated airport. And so that comes with its own strings, but we get that funding from the FAA. The state has a state agency called the Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics.
Yes.
They're funding, they could fund up to 50%. A lot of the times with our grants, when we have 90%, they're putting in an extra 5%. And that typically leaves a local city with the remaining 5%. Well, we have the cities of Guthrie and Edmond combined. And so we're able to do what most cities cannot across the state and split our local match in half. So we're only paying 2.5% on a project. So just for example, last year, we went after a perimeter fence project, which was much needed with some wildlife issues that were going on. We were able to build 8,000 feet of linear fence, which was a lot of clearing. This was a over 10-foot tall fence, and it cost the city of Guthrie at the end of the day about $4,500.
Wow.
And so it's
and
projects
that would be
like that.
what we would say the taxpayer dollars.
Right,
You
that
know,
would be the taxpayer
your city
dollars.
sales tax helped fund that.
That's correct. That's correct. And the airport generates its own revenue as well.
Right.
We have our own ground leases out there for the hangars, as well as a fuel collection fees. And so we're working on that as well to make the airport as financially self-sustainable as possible, so that we can hopefully begin generating our own matches. But as it stands right now, we're only collecting 2.5% for capital projects for the airport.
Right. Yeah. That's amazing. Because I know, I mean, GMP covered, you know, said it's been in the news a lot.
Yeah.
You know, all the things happening, but it's millions of dollars, you know, and so people see that and think, oh, our city is spending millions of dollars, you know, on the airport. And that's just what I hope today, or hope the show, you know, people will learn more.
Yeah, you mentioned a $5 million project. That doesn't count that's not even the biggest project out
there.
there.
Oh, right. We'll get to that.
Right.
Yeah. So there's so many projects, and I'm glad you mentioned at the federal level, the state level. That state agency sends out emails every single day. I get all those emails.
Yes.
It's crazy how that agency, maybe they have good marketing people, good communications, but I literally get an email every day from them.
And they, you know, aviation, people often wonder the biggest industries in the state. The first is obviously oil and gas. Mm-hmm. The second is aviation and aerospace here in Oklahoma.
So cool.
It's $44 billion, second largest industry. Wow. In 2017, that same agency did a statewide economic study for all airports to determine that number. Back then, our airport was at $19.2 million in annual economic impact. They just redid the study. They haven't shared the results, but I've been told that in the last 10 years, we have doubled what we were. And so we'll be excited to announce that hopefully in the next few months. We'll roll that out. But that's part of what our state's looking at doing when it's diversifying our economy, is pumping money into the aviation and aerospace.
And if Brittany and I didn't know that number. If we don't know, everyone out there doesn't know that number.
Right.
Well, here's a popular question for a lot of people who don't know that. Who's coming in? I mean, who's flying in?
That's a good question.
Is it, you know, Guthrie Edmond?
That's a great question.
I do know it's a lot easier to fly into a Guthrie Edmond or a Wiley Post than it is to Will Rogers. So that's another benefit of being close to the metro. But
absolutely,
who's flying in?
Yeah, so the bulk of our traffic comes from our flight schools, and so Air NOS is a big one. We have another one coming in we can discuss as well, but the bulk of it is flight school traffic. But as far as business traffic goes, we are a fantastic option for people because we're right outside the congested Oklahoma City airspace, so that's not an issue for us. Our proximity to I-35 is huge. I'll tell you right now, our hangar waiting list is over 40 people that are ready to come here today. I mean, we update this list regularly of folks that if we had hangars available and space to build, they're ready to do it. And that's just, it says a lot about our city. It says a lot about our region. That we're able to bring that in. And I think that, as the North OKC Metro continues to expand, just both cities' commitment to making the airport the next hub in the region for aerospace is absolutely what we need to keep.
Speaking of hangars, how many are out there?
Yeah, so we have over 60 hangars. We have over 130 based aircraft, which is huge. We're actually top 5 in the state in terms of based aircraft. So that's we have a lot of pilots that are there. And I'll go ahead and talk about it. The new flight school that we have coming in, Volar. We're super excited about them because not only are they looking at bringing in more aircraft, just like our top flight schools, which could potentially double our traffic. I mean, that's how big this is going to be. But the city council approved for them to do aviation maintenance as well. So right now we have one full-time dedicated maintenance facility at our airport. Having a second one is absolutely crucial when we talk about having 130 aircraft that are required by the FAA to do annual maintenance every year, inspections. Absolutely. And so it's a growing need just in the region, but our airport really needs something like that. So we're excited to have them.
How many people work at the airport?
Well, so our largest employer is Zivco,
right.
And so they have a little over 30 employees. But there's a multitude of pipeline patrol companies that operate out of our airport, maintenance, flight school, like I mentioned, the city, and then Apex Aero Center has quite a few as well. So ever growing.
Yeah,
it's one of those, and there's a lot of people who. Can't say publicly. There are some cool people who fly into the airport that we can't say who private.
That's right.
But if there's a stud linebacker at Edmond Memorial or Edmond North, Kirby Smart, Nick Saban could be flying into the Guthrie Airport that close to a football player. I was going to say Stillwater, but they would fly into Stillwater, just watch the Stillwater kid. But I mean, if there's a stud in the metro, it could be, especially Edmond area, those type of people can fly in. I know there's a Big
Chris
12.
Has got to make it about sports.
We've had Texas
somehow.
Tech.
No.
It's just a small. I know the Colorado coach may have been landed here at a time or two, but that's part of the coming in and out too as well.
Absolutely.
So
what about the film industry? Does that play any part? With
we
our
did.
Airport?
I know a few years ago when they were filming the Reagan film, that took place here. Absolutely. There's people coming in every single day to do business in Guthrie and Edmond. We have a lot of corporate business jets that are based at the airport, and so they're regularly utilizing their aircraft to support their business operations. And so that's just a part of one of the benefits of having a community airport like this.
Yeah.
This could be an 8-hour podcast, so I
know.
apologize.
So many things.
You mentioned the flight school. How long is a flight school? My wife kind of brought up the other day. Is it realistic for Chris Evans to be a pilot? I mean,
absolutely.
It's
Chris.
really cool
We'll get you out there.
Because I'm thinking, man, I can go to this town. I can go watch this football game on a Thursday. Come back to Guthrie. I talked to you before we started airing. There's a pilot I watch on YouTube. Fly with K, shout out. I watch all your videos, so I might as well give you a shout out. But how she can go from town, I was like, man, I can go watch that football game. I can go watch that.
My parents have some friends that have had a plane for years, and they would just be like, we're just going to run over to Eureka Springs for the day.
Yes. But in my mind, I would never think that would even be possible for me to be a pilot.
Oh yeah, it's possible for sure.
There's no age restrictions.
We have 4. There are age restrictions, but they made it.
Getting there. I'm just kidding.
They made it easier with the FAA is now allowing sport pilot licenses. But we have 4 flight schools now that are going to be operating at our airport. So people are having a multitude of options. That also depends on, what kind of aircraft do you want to fly? For what purposes do you want to fly? That's what's benefiting us, is we're now getting kind of a diversity of options there so that people in our area can select which program works best for them.
Like leisure
right.
or business.
Right. And
kind of thing.
How intense do they want that training to be? It's also important to have a good instructor and to have a good relationship with your instructor. And so that's exciting as well.
And watching it can be very intimidating, but I always hear it's sometimes safer to be in a plane than it is a vehicle because the percentages of cars around you. But it just looks very, very intimidating. Me watching those videos, like, okay, I'll never be able to do that. But there are flight schools that would teach that. It's just mentally getting over that.
Yep. One of our flight schools actually that opened up just here recently was Confidence Flight Training. That's led by John Wise. It's a very good, and he does spin endorsements. And so all of the acrobatics that you might watch in videos that are a little bit, out of the comfort zone.
We lost Chris.
We lost Chris.
I don't know how to start an airplane.
Maybe,
I don't know how to start an airplane right now. So,
but there's a group called the International Aerobatic Club, which is a national organization of acrobatic pilots, and they have one chapter in Oklahoma, and it's actually at our airport with John Wise at Confidence Flight Training. So we have a lot of people that are wanting their spin endorsement. A lot of people do it just for the safetiness of it. If you're losing control of your aircraft, having that training and being aware of what that feels like is helpful for safety for them. So anyway, Confidence Flight Training is bringing in a lot of people to do that as well.
How long does it take someone, like if Chris and Sam decide that they're going to become pilots? Maybe Sam. More Sam than Chris. You brought it up, so unsure. How long? What's the process, like as far as apply, and then how long before you can be licensed?
Right. So for your base private pilot license, you have to fly for at least 40 hours. You're going to probably want to do over that. But you'll first start in ground school and then go from there. It really depends on how much time you're able to dedicate to it.
Sure.
For some people, it could be 6 months to a year. For others, it may be longer than that. We'll oftentimes have people call up the airport and ask, they'll say, I started training, 5 years ago, but life got kind of busy and I'm ready to jump back into it. We see that a lot out at the airport. And so, all of our options.
Based on your hours.
Based on the hours of flying and obviously your comfortableness with everything going on.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Then you got to buy an airplane. You got to buy the fuel, all that.
Looking
you can
for
also
sponsorships for. So I'll take something like this.
Yeah.
Behind me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It'll do.
I got $5 to begin your.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so what else? I mean,
we buried the lead. We have buried the lead on the big project. Go ahead.
We have.
Yeah. Well, I think we've buried it long enough.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the new taxiway.
Right.
Did I get that?
Right.
Did I get my term right?
You did.
Okay. So what else is coming down the pipe, or even the last several months that is happening at our airport?
For sure. So we are about to. We haven't had a date yet, but we're about to commence the groundbreaking ceremony for the new terminal and terminal apron. So that's going to be huge. That's been years in the making. Even before my time with the city of Guthrie, they've been working hard on making this happen. We've finished design and we've gone out for bids.
That's
and
awesome.
So far with the bids, it looks great with the budget. That is a $7 million project. So that's our big project there. $6 million of which is coming from the FAA. That was due to an congressionally directed spending request we put in through Congresswoman Bice's office.
Yep.
And the rest of the money for that project, $500,000 is coming from the state. And then normally, once again, the city would be left with $500,000. We split that in half, and both cities are giving $250,000. So for $250,000, we're getting a $7 million investment in the airport. This terminal facility, I can't speak enough about it. It's going to more than double the size of our existing capacity. We're going to have a terminal restaurant. It's going to have dedicated kitchen space.
So cool.
Conference rooms, offices. It's really, it sounds cliche, but whenever people are flying in, for that recruiting or for other business purposes, that is the front door to the community in that way. It's the first building they're going to see, and it's the last one they're going to see when they depart. And so we want to provide a better front door to our community. We're really excited about that. Another part of that project that we've been able to do more than originally thought was for the aircraft apron. So you think of an aircraft parking apron, our existing ramp can only house, so many jets at one time. And as we're continuing to grow and get bigger jets, we're meeting capacity on some days. One thing I've heard from other airport directors is the LA 28 Olympics. Yes. Oklahoma City is going to be way too over congested. And so having airports like ours that they can divert traffic to for parking is going to be huge. We're already preparing for that. Wow. But the apron that we're going to be able to build out in front of this terminal facility is larger than we originally expected. And so we're going to be able to accommodate much, much more than we thought.
That's awesome. And you brought up 2028. So I've actually been on some calls with the state chamber. There's already, of course, it takes years in the making for these events, but they're already looping us in because it is going to impact Guthrie in a positive way. Yeah. We are going to have people in our hotels because we are 30 minutes, north of the metro.
And usually the athletes want to get away a little bit. It's like Oklahoma State or OU football. They don't stay next door to the
Guthrie
stadium.
Benefits from those games.
They do.
Especially
they like to live
yeah.
outside the areas. So Guthrie's that perfect location.
Yeah.
You can fly in, stay.
Absolutely.
Travel to and back and get a little away from the congestion.
Absolutely.
So my mind's kind of already there too. It's probably next year from the chamber perspective. We'll be talking about okay, what can we do to promote our community, and our restaurants and our hotels and our airport and things like that. For 2028 Olympics, because it's going to be a good thing for us.
Right. How do we become the number one choice outside of the OKC metro? There's a lot of competing airports that are going to be looking to get that traffic. Yeah. We want to make sure we're a great stop.
That's awesome. So when is expected completion date or goal date?
So we think groundbreaking is going to take place here soon. The anticipated schedule is that this project will take about a year to be fully completed, and we want to make sure that we have the terminal restaurant that will be coming in. We're going to go through a selection process with that here soon, make the best choice for that terminal building. But as soon as we're done with that selection process, we're ready to move full speed ahead and make sure that everything is opening in conjunction with itself. As part of the project too, we have an older hangar right now that's in a fantastic spot, and so we're wanting to demolish that and build a new hangar as well. So here in the next year, that entire front area, the access road is going to be extended. It's all going to look different. You're going to show up to the airport, and it's going to be a different experience for sure. And
you mentioned the restaurant. I know a lot of places, Ponca City is always one that comes up. People fly to Ponca City just for the Mexican restaurant that's there. So absolutely. I imagine that's kind of another goal, and that's sales tax dollars that would be from the restaurant, people flying in to a restaurant there just to.
And that would be open to the public, right?
Open to the public.
Just go out and watch planes come in and out. That's going to be awesome.
I can out there and sing songs.
I'm just sitting right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Take off.
Yeah, that's
it. Bring that song back
on the
from
patio.
15 years ago.
And the terminal will have an outdoor patio as well, so that people can sit out there and watch that. We're absolutely excited for it, and we're it's going to rely a lot on the support of the public, but people are whenever they're traveling, looking for pilots going cross country or looking for those fun stops, and so we're hoping it can attract that as well.
And that would be great for the pilots, but I think it'd be great for the community because they always say, "Why they really don't know what's going on," but they actually turn onto the roadway past the very cool Guthrie Edmond Regional Airport sign, and actually drive in there and actually see it. So I think that would be a benefit too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is operations going to look like while you're under construction?
So luckily we have planned for this for years. We've had years to plan. With the taxiway project, we actually did all of the work that would have prohibited aircraft from operating in that area. So there actually will be zero impacts to operations throughout this whole project. So we're very excited about that. We're still going to be operating out of our existing terminal facility while it's ongoing.
Okay.
And so we'll be able to have a very clean transition to get to that new facility. And so we're lucky. We actually had to get special FAA approval during the taxiway project to build out enough apron so that we didn't have to turn around and close the new taxiway to build out the apron. They recognized that we had the funding for that. We'd planned for this. And so luckily we don't have any impacts.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you did mention Congresswoman Stephanie Bice, so definitely want to mention her.
Absolutely.
So have a great relationship with her.
Yes.
Where Guthrie became part of her district a couple of years ago
Yeah.
And
now.
so District 5.
District 5.
5,
yes.
5.
Oh, I know.
You've been to many legislative luncheons.
I have. One more than you have. Anyway, so
Ouch.
So talk about the relationship with her and like how important it's been for in your space to communicate the needs and things like that.
Right. Yeah. She has absolutely been a champion of the airport. She's been out to the airport on many occasions. And she recognizes that, as I mentioned earlier with the state, with aviation being the second largest industry, she's trying to push that as well. She's pushing a lot of initiatives. That's why so many airports right now, they're building terminals, they're building towers. And luckily, we were able to secure something back in this district to bring those infrastructure dollars home and support our home airport has been huge. One other thing I wanted to talk about as well that we're working with our legislators to get is the city purchased 35 acres right adjacent to our taxiway, and that's for future development. As I mentioned, our hangar waiting list, we can't keep up with people coming. And so this is going to be prime aviation real estate next to our taxiway and runway. It's getting harder and harder to find areas to develop like this in the OKC metro area. And so we're hoping to be able to expand taxiways onto this new property and build new hangars and bring in more business. And so we're working closely with them. We've put that on our 5-year plan, and we're continually making that funding request.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the central location, Guthrie's basically the center of the state. That helps so much. You mentioned also a lot of people get confused with Edmond, but you have an airport board.
We do.
Which is comprised of Edmond and Guthrie.
Yes, sir.
And so you manage that. You were talking about these decisions. There is a board that has to go through all this stuff.
Absolutely.
And so, and I think Edmond's got to love it too. I mean, Edmond doesn't have area for an airport, and I can imagine starting an airport from scratch. That would be crazy. But for Edmond, this is, people always, why is Edmond involved? But they help us out in funding. That's
50%,
that's a huge deal.
Right.
But it's a benefit for them as well.
Absolutely. So we partnered with Edmond in 2004. And that partnership entailed two things. One was the airport's name. I was going to include Edmond. And the second one was the airport board. And so that's their form of representation. If after things are approved to the airport board, they ultimately go to Guthrie City Council still for final approval. But we rely on Edmond, and Edmond relies on us for a lot of their business traffic. I think we found that it was 60% of our pilot base had an Edmond address out at the airport. The remainder of that was from Guthrie and surrounding Logan County areas. And so we rely on Edmond a lot. They've been a fantastic partner. We had a joint council meeting, actually. I believe it was I want to say it was, time's flying by, but I think it was a year ago.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, there you go. I actually didn't mean that. We had
to take off here in a second.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my.
We had a joint Guthrie and Edmond City Council meeting about a year ago, and we were able to discuss our shared priorities and what we're looking for ahead. And so we're excited to be on the same page and make this work. It's kind of a I don't want to say abnormal partnership, but you just don't see it everywhere.
Right.
I think we're one of two in the state of Oklahoma that have this kind of partnership between both cities, and it helps us when we go and compete for grants or when we discuss things with like Congresswoman Bice, because we can say, hey, we can support this project and we'll get two communities get the benefits of one.
It's also a benefit to have a council member or two that are on those boards and an active city manager that's out there all the time to relay that information to council who may not be at those meetings and can't follow all the small details. You have those folks there that can relay that, answer questions a little bit more advanced than folks who don't go to those meetings.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you're board led is neat because it's an advisory board. Right. Because, like you said, it ultimately has to go to council for the final approval on various things. But like you said, it provides the representation from both communities. And that way, again, for people on Facebook or whatever that may not understand what's going on, it is a joint operation. And there's a lot of smart and wise, volunteers that are all working with you and the staff and the cities to make everything work.
Absolutely.
So.
Yes. Yeah, we're really fortunate to have we have an experienced airport board. We do have a council member on the board. We have former, pilots. We have a former airport director, actually at Max Westheimer Airport in Norman. I graduated with OSU, so there was a little heartburn there. But no, we get along just fine. And both cities, we come together when we need to and make things happen for the airport.
So cool.
It's fantastic.
So cool. And I remember just having you on 3 years ago about the new terminal and the restaurant seems so far away. Like I remember oh yeah, in 2027, and now it's like, it is right here.
It's here. It's here.
I mean, that's so cool.
Yep. In about a year, we'll be cutting a ribbon on it.
So cool.
And
I'll bring the ribbon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So cool. So what else? You still going to do
He's only gone over $15 million projects.
I know. Well, so you didn't get to have the summer fly-in.
We didn't have the summer fly-in this year. We're hoping to bring that back. A large part of the reason for that was this new apron. And so you might recall at the last summer fly-in, we made a lot of use of that apron. We had quite a few aircraft show up. We're going to be able to double the capacity and size for that event. I would love to align it with something at the airport, like the terminal grand opening or the restaurant or something like that if it works out. But I do hope to bring it back here in the next year. And we'll still keep on with the Santa fly-in.
I was going to ask if Santa was coming, even if it's under construction.
Yes, Santa will come even if that's under construction.
Okay,
That's right.
good. That is always, I've been to both events. They are super cool. I've got pictures of the girls little with Santa.
That's awesome.
By the aircraft and stuff like that. So those are some really neat community events that you guys put on.
We're excited to host that again. We also have started up the summer flight camp program out at the airport. Right now that's been historically for kids ages 8 to 12.
Sam can't go.
We're looking to expand it for older age groups as well, so we might be on that. I was about to mention, but
it's a great way to grow the industry.
Great way to grow it and continue it. We get a grant from the state. Once again, they're big supporters. They give us a grant to help put that on. We had it at Meridian Tech, and then we bus the kids out to the airport and give them a tour of the airport. It always so happens that we'll try to schedule a unique aircraft to be there and pilot to meet, but every year I haven't had to schedule anything because something neat always shows up. It's almost like the life knows that these kids are coming and ready to see something. So something does always show up, but the summer flight camp program we're excited to bring that back this next summer.
And let's talk about, we've had some cool chamber coffees out there.
We're going to get cooler too, man.
I know, with Apex.
Yes.
And so that is a gorgeous,
absolutely. That new facility, it's in Hangar 2. And they renovated that back in 2024. Airnos Flight School is currently utilizing that hangar, but it has fantastic views of the apron.
It's nice.
It's a great place to host the chamber coffee and bring people out and show them that, look, this is the amount of growth that we have.
And we get burritos from Weatherford.
Yes, burritos from Jerry's Diner.
Every time,
That's right.
Yes, that's great. Yes, and we love our relationship we have there with Bob and his team.
Yes,
so.
Apex has done. They've done a fantastic job. Our fuel sales are up. Our operations are up. So we couldn't be happier.
That's awesome.
Well, hopefully a lot of people learn. I learn stuff every time. I remember I watch your council meetings. I even watch your airport meetings when I have time. But it's so much going on at the airport. Hopefully you answered a lot of those questions out there that, again, out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people.
Sure.
Before we get out here, I want to say your dad, congratulations to your dad. 40 years of education. I heard the retirement.
I appreciate that.
We went over to do some state championship semifinal games in Claremore, and this guy's helping me in. He goes, "You probably know my son." His dad was the athletic director. We were there for 6 state semifinal games, and Claremore hosted those and did a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
And he said, "Yeah, my son's man. It is a small world."
It is.
Kaden should have flew us into Claremore. Now that I think about it, but I want to say congratulations to him. He was so kind to us. I see where you get it from. I just want to say congratulations to him. That was it was a hectic day. He had all the big dogs, the Blue Bloods in Claremore, Oklahoma, which I think is awesome. And he treated us big time. So I just want to say congratulations to him.
Yeah. I'll let him know you said that. Yeah. He'll love that.
No, we're going to have him watch the show.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Congratulations.
No, that's awesome. And, Caden, myself, and Eddie are all 918. I had to throw that in. I know, Chris rolls his eyes.
We made it 30 minutes before you got it. That's good. That's good for you.
Guthrie is home and has been since 2008.
I tease. Timmons.
But we're 918ers.
918ers
I think
at heart.
we all still have our 918 phone numbers too.
I still have
it's
my
true.
phone number.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not getting rid of it
That's
anytime
right now.
soon.
I'm
Claremore
not either.
Pryor don't like each other. Claremore Sapulpa, anything there?
No.
Claremore wins them all, so it's
Claremore-
really nothing there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
We didn't play Claremore when I was in high school.
Really?
No, we played Jinx a while. It was before the split. I'm old.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
We didn't play.
You didn't play the little piddly little Claremore. You played the big
We
dog.
played
Oh, wow.
and got killed.
I see how.
Jinx, Union, Nowaso, Broken Arrow. The list goes on.
Yeah.
It was not pretty. So
That's
anyway,
funny.
yes. But I have loved getting to know you. I've loved learning about the airport. It is awesome. Like Chris said, I do think it's, I mean, if you don't have a reason to go out there,
Yeah.
and I think the restaurant is going to change all that. Because
It
I
will.
think that,
Right.
like you said, community members are going to be like, let's go check this out.
It's
And
something
then
new.
they're going to learn.
Yeah.
Oh, and so,
Right.
and I think people see, in the news articles, things like that without understanding, they just see millions, and it's, people don't understand where those funds are coming from.
Right.
So I really appreciate you breaking
Absolutely.
that down
Yeah,
today.
and I think even if don't go out there, just seeing the different type of aircraft that's over us now, it's not. And there's
Right.
Yeah, I love
but
those.
There's some of those. What's going on at the
Well,
airport?
like the one behind us.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
the
Yeah.
screen, if you're watching on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a small, and that one's probably pretty cozy, I imagine.
Sam's first plane probably won't be quite that.
Quite that level.
Yeah, she'll have the little.
How many people with that one?
It could. I think it's around. I want to say 11 to 14.
Yeah, it looks like it with all the windows.
Yep. But it's that kind of it's that kind of jet. Like I said, that's a Gulfstream 280. We can only fit so many of those on our apron. So having the new apron for the terminal, it's going to be double the size of capacity is how large we're talking at the airport. So.
Okay, so this is above average, above normal. But what are we looking at here, price tag wise? What?
I knew that might come up.
If I can put that underneath the Christmas tree for Sam Evans, what am
Who's
I?
got to get her pilot's license?
Now my fly with Kay, she bought her first plane for $45,000. So there are planes out there that are
Portable.
but I don't think that's even $46,000.
Throw us a number,
brand new. I'm going to get this wrong.
Well,
I'd say brand new. Like 2026 model. I bet it would be 15 to 20 million.
Do you have any 98 models? Which there are a lot of older planes. They go a while, but
Yeah, they go a while. Yeah.
We're gonna need to do a few more podcasts, Brittany.
If you are looking to
payments?
sponsor Guthrie Newspaper,
Partner, not sponsor. Partner is a new word.
oh, partner,
Partner is a new word. Investor,
Investor,
like an
Investor.
investor. Yeah, like an investor.
Yeah.
Not a chamber member, a chamber investor.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. Okay. Anyway, well, thanks for having some
Yeah,
fun.
thank you for having me.
Chris and I are a bunch of goofballs, but
No,
that's what we love about the podcast. Just an opportunity to sit back, relax, talk, get to know things. I guarantee you, as soon as we'll get off here, Chris and I both be like, well, we didn't know this.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Every show I do, no matter who it is, I love that I'm like, oh, I know them pretty well. I know what's going on. And then every podcast, I'm like, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It's awesome.
I appreciate you all
So,
having me
yeah.
on, and we look forward to hosting Chamber Coffee again later this year out at the airport. So.
Yeah, well, you're doing amazing, and
Yes.
we are here to cheer you on. You just let us know what you need, and it's really cool what you have going on over there.
Yeah, a lot of projects, a lot of help on the federal and the state level, but also the local level.
Right.
Kudos to city council, city managers for both Edmond and Guthrie for letting you do what you want to do, because they're pulled in many different directions, of course. But over $50 million easily that we talked about here coming in.
Right.
And there's more than that, but a project. It's exciting.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Well, I still really want to. I want to go on a flight soon.
We'll make it happen.
So, yeah, and Sam's getting licensed. I mean, lots of
Community
things are
flying.
happening.
I went up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You
so weird.
did? I still haven't.
Yeah. I was like,
I haven't.
that's John Vance Motors. And then before you know it, you're at Cedar Valley.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how fast.
That's cool.
Just shoot me a time that works for you. We'll
Okay,
get you up there.
we're gonna do
I
that.
promise. We'll
That'd
do
be
it.
good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please share, follow the channel, Second Banana Media, and look forward to having some more guests on the show later this year. But for now, we'll sign off, and we'll catch you next time on another episode of Chamber Vibes.
Thanks for listening to the Chamber Vibes podcast from Second Banana Media Studios in beautiful downtown Guthrie, America. Be sure and check out a new episode every other Monday. And until then, remember to choose Guthrie.